go.
City Jazz Sessions is about great music, arts, and entertainment. We are located in St. Louis, Missouri, and available to performance art lovers worldwide. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and Twitter. You can email us at cityjazzsessions@gmail.com.
Music, best-selling book, and a lot of films that we're going to talk about. Introducing Lacey G. Soldier Turner. How you doing, brother?
How you doing? How you doing? I gotta give my slogan. I am your favorite rapper's favorite rapper, the best film writer and director in St. Louis. Facts, award-winning published author, actor, journalist, actor, business owner, nominated Hollywood music artist, Lacey G. Soldier Turner. Oh,
That's a mouthful, brother.
there we go.
Well, anyway, let's get to it. Let's get started with your background. You from
Mhm.
St. Louis?
Yep, born and raised in St. Louis. Raised by my mom. I had my father. He been in jail since I was 9 years old.
Oh man.
Then had a stepfather, but then I think my mom raised me and my brothers since I was probably, I'm gonna say, maybe 12 on up for this. So,
Okay, okay. No problem. So, famous St. Louis question, what high school did you attend?
only the best. Sumner High School,
Oh,
Bulldogs. We the number one African American high school in
okay. All right. I give you props for that.
here.
Accolades out to Sumner.
Many celebrity stuff.
Yeah, yeah. No problem. Okay, so where you want to start off with you want to start with the book or what
I
about the
don't even.
films?
It don't even matter. Whichever one you want to tackle.
Let's talk about the films first. What kind of genre and a little bit of information on what kind of film you like to produce.
Okay, so me, I consider myself versatile. I don't like to be put in a box. So
Okay.
I have written and directed every type of film. I got drama films, comedy films, horror films, suspense films. I did them all, documentaries. So right now though, I am working on working on a couple projects. So I'm working on my next comedy film. It's called Uncensored Stage Part Two. Um, that's like a series of comedy sketches put together, give you that and live in color type of feel. So I did part one back in 2000 and I think 19. I want to say 18 and 19, right before COVID hit. So a lot of people they came out to the theaters and they really loved it. So I'm doing part two of that. I'm doing a documentary for Theta. If y'all know Theta, she is the mother of Christian Ferguson. So the father, just got convicted of murder after 20 some years of the son missing. So I'm doing that documentary for her. So Theta person. What else I'm working on? Man,
I
I'm
like
working
to
on
see
my.
that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's gonna be powerful. So I'm working on my big comedy film called Food Stamps and Wick Vouchers also. And man, I'm just working on a lot of different things. I'm about to do a bully documentary also with Tiny Be Mighty. That's a nonprofit organization. So we're
Mhm.
going to be traveling to 6 cities and interviewing mothers whose child committed suicide from being bullied. So just working on a lot of different projects.
Okay, okay. Good work, good work. Now tell us a little bit about the music that you do.
Okay, oh man, my music, I love it. So the music I try to do music that, you know, that everyone can relate to, like being myself in my music. Cause we have a lot of this, just everybody trying to be like the next person, rapping about stuff they don't do, killing people, all this type of stuff. So I
Right.
always try to, talk about real issues in my song: mental illness, bullying, relationship drama, stuff that everybody goes through every day, and put it in a creative way. So I really like to tug on the hearts of people and create dialogue with my music. So anything you hear from me is always real. Is always a representative of me, and everyone always loves it.
Oh, that sounds real. So now you mentioned drama. Do you
Mhm.
think relationships we get into cause most of the drama in our lives?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? But I feel this part of life. Like I got a new single I'm working on. Well, I already finished it. It's not put out yet. My manager and publicist, we working on how to shop this right now and push it out. But I have a song I wrote. It's called Broken Record, and it's about being in a toxic relationship. It's like we keep repeating these same things like a broken record. So with that song, I took my life experiences along with just every other life experience we see in toxic relationships and combine it together. And it's really a song where if you really take time and listen, to the words,
Hmm.
I feel you could try to come to some understanding because they say men will never understand women, women will never understand men. So I feel like every relationship takes communication. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn and know how to communicate. So even with the song I did, Broken Record, I did that to if anybody you know I guess wants to talk to your woman or your man or something, if you're going through some stuff, let them hear this song and be like, hey, this is how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So can we get through this? Are you listening to me, or is it just going in one ear and out the other? But everyone will relate to Broken Record. Everybody I let hear it, they love it because it's something that everybody can relate to. So
I can relate to the title and what you said about repeating the same
that's the
mistakes or situations because I'm dealing with that myself with some people that I'm mentoring or counseling
mm-hmm.
basically, and it's rough, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It's rough. So tell us, are you single? You married, or what's your status?
All right, I got someone. I ain't married yet. I ain't single, but I got someone
Okay,
now.
committed relationship sounds good.
Yeah, I'm in a relationship, but just like Broken Record, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we go through these things, and I feel Broken Record is like a song for counseling. You know what I'm saying? We need, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I love Broken Record, though. So everybody can relate to it, whether you're married, whether you're in a relationship, whatever. Even if you're single and been through drama, you know what I'm saying? Make sure
Yeah,
y'all go to Broken Record when it comes out.
I feel you. I feel you.
Hmm. Yes. And one thing I learned too, or like, even I think for anybody who is in a relationship, like in order to make anything work, you have to love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to you have to fix yourself and build yourself. You can't fix nobody else or build nobody else, or something's not gonna work until you work on yourself first. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a very important thing in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Instead of pointing the finger and blame and all this type of stuff, you have to fix on yourself. You have to want to be better yourself. You have to find your own mental peace. Love yourself before you call yourself loving anyone else.
Absolutely. Did you have any questions, Leon?
Yeah, I wanted. So I've got this. I went out to your website and stuff, and we'll make sure that we put your website information in the show notes and that kind of stuff. But I went out there and I saw this. Uh, you had several trailers for stuff
Mm-hmm.
that you'd done, and I want you to tell me about this little trailer here. So
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to set it up before properly, so I may have to restart it. But after it plays, then you can tell me about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna fix your ass. You don't know what pain is.
All right, let's restart. I'm gonna restart. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So tell me about
Thank
that.
you.
Tell me,
Thank
did you write everything? Did you wrote it, directed it?
you. Okay,
Um,
so that's my film Betrayal. That's one of my films that I wrote and directed, cast. With that story, I can't give it away though. So anybody who knows me always know that I have a twist in my film, but I will give you the synopsis of the film. So it's about a person comes home, feel that his wife is cheating. He got pictures. He's been following them around, taking pictures and everything, but all hell breaks loose, but it's a very great twist at the end. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna spoil it for everybody who wants to see it because I am gonna probably premiere this film again. I premiered it in the theaters, I think 2 years ago. So I'm still shopping it around, still in film festivals. It's going on the film festival circuit. But anybody who do want to watch it, let me know. I'll probably do a private screening online.
so
Huh?
did you do the editing for the trailer and everything?
Yep, yep, everything.
So one
Yep.
man show on
I'm
that
a,
one,
I'm a one man show.
huh?
Yeah. Only thing I didn't film it though. I had somebody else film it
Oh,
for me.
okay, somebody else filmed it.
Right in there. Yeah, I got a team of people and everything too, so they helped me out.
So what was the inspiration for actually doing that piece?
With me, like anybody know, like I said, even with my music, the same way in films, I like to create powerful stories that create dialogue. And everybody knows that people who have been in relationships be obsessed, overprotective, all this type of stuff, making stuff seem what it's not, and all this type of thing. So with this story, I always like to be creative and create something powerful. So with this, it was just another story that I wanted to create powerful. Like I said, we always have these films where you just shooting people, hood films, you know what I'm saying? Just all about selling drugs, all this type of stuff. So
Yeah.
anything I do, I try to have a message in it. So any film that I do, you will see a message. So this film definitely has a message in it, betrayal, and it has a great twist in the end. So
So did you go to film school or what? How did you start writing?
okay, so it's a great story, great question. So at first this was back in I think 2011. I was mentoring and serving with AmeriCorps. So I was being a tutor and a mentor in the schools. And after that, I didn't know what I wanted to do in life because I hadn't been to college in 10 years. Once I graduated college, once I graduated high school, I went to college for a couple semesters, messed up, I ain't care. So after AmeriCorps, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then one day I woke up, I was like, I want to write and direct movies because I always looked at movies different from people watch them for entertainment. But I was like, okay, I always like, oh, I love how this shit. I love this character. I love this angle. So I was like, I know what I want to do in life now. It was like an epiphany to hit me. So I Googled. I was like, who got the best film program? And it was Webster University. So I was like, yes. So I went straight to Webster University. I was like, I want to get enrolled in the school. Let's get it. They looked at my GPA and they was like, sir, you have a 1.4. You know what I'm saying? so what they so they told me they was like, go to a community college for a couple semesters and then come back. Because like I said, I messed up 10 years earlier. But now I really knew what I wanted to do in life. So I was like, all right. So I left straight there and went to Forest Park. And this show you how God work right here. I went straight to Forest Park and they had a program that if you hadn't been in school in 10 years, they would drop a lot of your bad grades off your transcript. And I was right at the 10-year mark. So they took a lot of my bad grades off, and I went there in Merrimack for like 3 straight semesters, got straight A's. So with them dropping off a lot of grades and my straight A's, I had a 3.5. So I went back to Webster, and they welcomed me in, and I graduated from Webster with a 3.9. I was the only African American in the film program at that time. So
Awesome.
uh, yeah, so I learned a lot. I learned a lot from Webster and met a lot of different ethnicities and everything. So I became friends with them, and I just learned so much valuable information about filmmaking because I've always felt I've been a great storyteller in my music, so I was able to transfer that over into the film world. And as soon as I got out of film school, I just full steam ahead. God just kept opening doors for me. So
All right. All right.
Did you do the music in that trailer?
well, I didn't do the music, but I actually found the music, for the producers and all this type of stuff. So I
Mm.
guess I was the music supervisor on there also. Yes, so I know I know what I want in the films. I'd be like, okay, I think this will sound good. I need this type of beat. So yes, I was the music supervisor.
So, what is the average length of the films that you do?
Mhm. So a lot of the films you see are short films, so they could go anywhere from probably 10 to 20 minutes.
Hmm.
So right now, I'm really working on my feature films, right? The ones I was telling you about right now, my 2 hour films and all that type of stuff. So all the films you probably see on my page, those are short films, and what we use those for is to put them in film festivals, and people from the industry might see them, want to pick them up, shop them and purchase them or anything like that. So it's like your resume in the world, basically.
Okay. So, do you have a set crew of actors that you work with, or just whoever you run into?
Mhm. Man, the difference. So I do have some actors who I've been working with since the beginning, who I hit up every now and then. But I'm one of the directors. I love taking chances on people and working with different people. I might see something in someone, or someone might come to me and be like, "Hey, I want to act," and they don't know where to start. So if I see that you fit, you have to be a perfect fit for my family. If I see it, I'm gonna reach out to you. So that's why I do it. So it's always different. I still got my main core people who, if I feel I got something big or important, I'll be like, hey, I need you, because I know they're gonna show up and show out. But I also love to just take chances on different people. So,
Oh, cool, cool. I want to act. No, I'm just kidding.
it's like hit me up.
Just kidding.
Let's get it now.
You never know.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
one of the things that has always interested me is working with talent. Talent can be on and off. Um, sometimes they um, have. I don't want to say. I don't want to show it in a negative light. Sometimes um, they bring drama, not intentionally, but it's just a part of um, their creative process. How do you, as a director, work with that? How do you get the best out of your the people that you're using? Because I'm sure there's talent that you've looked at and you thought, that's going to be a real headache, but I really want that person in this piece. So how do you work with that?
The one thing about me is anybody I cast, I sit down and talk with them first and get to know them. They don't know I'm reading them, but I'm reading them. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I like to get personal with the people who I choose. For instance, I was doing my one horror film. It's called Flocka, and I sat down with this female, and she was like, oh yes, I really want to do this. She's like, I've been wanting to act all my life. She's like, I could do this, and she was telling me that she works a full-time job. She go to school full-time. She got kids, and in my mind, I'm like, okay, we finna be shooting this film from like 10 at night to like 5 or 6 in the morning for different days. So I knew that she was, no matter what, I knew that she wouldn't have been able to handle that, because once they hop on, then it's, oh, I gotta do this. Oh, I'm sorry, I got to babysit. Oh, I got homework. So I know how to read people. I've been very fortunate for the majority of the people that I've chose. To be great. Like I sit down with people, see if they got egos, because nobody's better than nobody. You know what I'm saying? We're all the same people. So I see if this person's going to be a problem. I remember I had my crew at the time. I called them Team Bars, and so to keep their morale up, me and my business partner at the time, we decided to let break them off in two groups and let them do their own short film. So I was giving them advice. So we did a casting call, and they chose this one actress, and I told them, I was like, this person gonna be a problem. I was telling them the same thing I was telling you. You got to sit down, listen, and I could tell the person that they picked was gonna be a problem, and I let them know that. I was like, I can read, I can tell what it is, and they still chose her, and she turned out to be a problem. You know what I'm saying? And just headaches and everything. So with me, yes, I've been very fortunate, and I have a blacklist also. So if you mess up with me one time, you own this black. You know, I done had people. This last instance, I had a person who was like, I hit him up. I was like, hey, are you sure you can do this? If you can't, let me know. I can get somebody else. They was like, yeah, I promise you I'm gonna be there. Then the next day they was like, oh man, I can't even come. So they was like, next time I promise. So in my mind, like, it's not gonna be no next time. You know what I'm saying? So, but for the most part, yeah, I've been fortunate to not. That I probably only had about out of my years of filming. I've been filming since 2000 and I want to say 13, and I probably had probably maybe 3 or 4 people, mess up or something out
Okay.
of hundreds.
So now, what about on the music? Um, have you studied music actually? Do you play any instruments?
No, no, no. Nope, nope, nope. But just growing up, I love music all my life. Like my mom, my stepdad, they used to listen to Motown all the time,
Hmm.
sing all the time. So I think that's where I got my roots from, especially with music with substance. I think I've learned that coming up, listening to all that type of music to always put substance in my music. So and then growing up my own self, loving Bone Thugs and Harmony and DMX, Tupac, Eminem, those are my top, favorite artists. I really like artists who wear their heart on their sleeve, who expose their life, talk about God, and just human beings. They don't act perfect, they don't act, they're just human beings, and that's why I try to, put in my music also. So I studied the great artists. I say that.
So how do you actually create the music? I mean, are you playing instruments or what?
Okay, so with me, so I get beats from different producers. So it's always different. Like if I hear something I like, or for instance, it's this song called "Teardrops" that I did. So I was at work one day, but this was like back in the day. It sounds crazy for me to say that because I've been my own boss for years, right?
Okay.
But back then, I think this was like 2002. So I was at work and I was sitting at the desk. I think I was working at the make company. So I just wrote this verse to this song called Teardrops. And I was like, man, this verse is so powerful. And it was about a woman being trapped in a domestic abuse relationship. So I was like, this verse is so powerful. I said I will never finish this song until I find the right beat. So 10 years later, I didn't never finish this. 10 years later, I heard this beat from this producer, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta have that." And I wrote the next 2 verses and recorded the song. So I take my music very serious. So it's always different, different procedures. Sometimes I hear the beat first. Sometimes I write the song first. I hit up different producers. I go through their instrumentals, go through their beats. So that's how I make my music. It's always different. It's never the same formula.
Okay. So you got a verse or some lyrics or whatever that you got in your mind, then you hear some beats, and how
Mm-hmm.
do you complete it? I mean, do you add other instrumentation? How do you put the whole thing together?
Now, so even what I write, so let's say I'm writing a song about, man, I tell you, I take my music super serious. Let's say I write a song about depression or something, or losing
Uh,
somebody. Like I would lock myself in my room and make myself depressed. Like I really want the authenticity to come out.
uh,
So, and you can hear it in the lyrics. I'll tell you, a lot of people when they hear my music, they be like, "Man, it's real." I felt that, something like that. So then I take it to the studio. Shout out to my boy Preston. I've been working with him since 2008. So he's like one of the greatest engineers in the universe. So he'll either add, once we record, he'll add other instrumentals to it or something if he feel like something needs to be done. Like he's a great editor of the music or whatever. So
okay.
so that's what I do. So yeah, I just take it in the studio and he adds different instruments if he feels they need to be there.
Oh, awesome. Though. Like that.
So, um,
Do you own your own equipment? You like your own audio equipment, your own cameras, and that kind of stuff?
And it's crazy you say that. Look, first I was just a writer and a director. But everybody lately been wanting, they were like, man, you need to film too. We love your work. We love how you put stuff together. So I just bought all my own equipment, probably like the past month or so. I just spent about probably 7 grand on cameras and audio Zoom recorders and shotgun mics and just
Mhm.
tripods, light kits, everything. So yeah, I just started filming on my comedy film. I told you I just shot my first skit scene the other day. So yeah, so I finally got my own equipment finally.
All right. Okay.
So one of
So
the you have to I have to manage everything here, so you'll see me
That's,
wander off and do other stuff.
that's all
Um,
good.
so uh, I know you were talking about that you were shopping some of your projects around,
Hmm.
and one of the things that I think I've heard, is that someone might pick up your work, uh, and they may give it to another director. Is that
Hmm.
are you okay with that? Is it a package deal?
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna say anybody who get my films, they're like my babies. I'm gonna have to be attached to it as the director. Now, if you need that, I am an independent contractor. So I have written scripts for other people. I written music for other people. I'm writing songs. But my films that I make for me, those are my children. So I definitely have to be attached to any project if anybody wants to buy it or purchase it.
Are
so
you?
that means you have it fully copyrighted.
Oh yeah, yeah. Anything I do is copyrighted. So
Right.
listen, let me tell these people that I want y'all to steal my stuff though, so I can get the money. So you steal it. No. Use it, everybody. All you big actors.
Yeah, maybe you can go sue them and get some cash.
Yeah, yeah, steal it, please, steal it.
Excuse
There you
me.
Matter of fact, no, it's not copyright.
Oh shucks. Oh shucks.
Yeah.
So, what would be the ideal, scenario for you over the next like 5 years?
I want to turn. Everybody always tell me they like, "Hey, man, you so great, so talented. You need to leave here. If you would have been left here, you would have been bigger." But I want to turn St. Louis into a Hollywood. Just like how Tyler Perry built the big production studio in Atlanta. I want to do that here for the people, give people jobs, give people chances who want to act. Like I think God put me here. You know what I'm saying, to help people out, to be a servant to people, and that's one of the main things I do. So I love helping people. So that's my main goal for the next 5 years, is try to turn St. Louis into a Hollywood.
Man, that's a big dream, but I really respect that, man. And I wish you the best of luck. I love to see it happen. And if anything we can do to help you,
Yeah, I
uh,
can. You can give me $10 million. No, no,
we we could steal his work.
no, no,
I hear you.
we could we could steal his work and use it. Make a
steal
bunch
it.
of money.
Everybody steal my.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay. Now, okay, so we still got the book.
Mhm.
That seemed like a really big project. Was it, how many authors were involved in that?
All right, so Dr. James Cooley, he put it together. Salute to him. I interviewed on his show, and he was very fascinated by me. He was like, "Hey, man, I'm doing this project I've been working on." And he's like, "I think you would be a great, asset to the book." He's like, "I want you to be one of the co-authors on here." So he picked 10 authors, 10 black men, and he wanted us to use our viewpoint as a black man. So with mine, I just talked about just the different emotions I've been through in my life as a black man, from happy, sad, angry. So I talked about being angry from being like bullied in school. Well, I ain't talked about the bully in school. even though I was bullied in school. But I talked about police brutality, being like abused by the police officers. Talked about me being happy with the success that I've done. I talked about me feeling guilty because I'm winning, but a lot of our people are still in poverty, even though I'm being successful in my stuff. So I just talked about the different emotions that I felt personally as a black man. So each author, just gave their own highlights about how they feel about themselves and what they went through. And it was a number one release and it was number one bestseller. So I was like, thank you, God, to get to add another accolade to the already many great things that He has done for me. So,
So when I hear the word number one bestseller, the first thing comes to mind is ka-ching.
yeah, look. I don't get no money from it. You know what I'm saying? Dr. James Cooley get all the money, but I'm happy to get the accolade.
You got your name on it, not the
I
dollar.
got my name on it, dog. Look, he get the moolah up in this.
Okay,
But now
okay.
salute to him, man. But I'm still proud, just to be a part of something monumental. It's not always about the money. I put something in a book that can help somebody or something that's worth more than $1 million to me.
Sure, sure.
But in order for me to get some money, I need y'all to steal my work. Make sure you steal my film. It is not copyright.
Well, see, our experience with copyrights is like we playing people's shit, like the music or whatever on the thing, and we ain't making no money, but they could ding our channel or
Yeah, see, look,
paying
that's
something on
crazy.
us, and we losing anyway.
That's crazy. We losing anyway.
So I found
Yo,
it.
But yeah, man, I think it's a great book. Make sure y'all go cop that though. It's on all the platforms you get a book. I also have my own book that y'all can get. It is titled Abita, Abhita. That's everywhere, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. So I did a film about bullying with the same name, and I decided to turn it into a children's book also. So they got great reviews too. You can check out the reviews on Amazon. So I do get that money.
A
But
B
yeah, man,
H
yes.
I G A.
Abhita. Yep, Abita.
ABH. Okay.
Yep, Abhita.
All
So yeah,
right.
that's on all your platforms everywhere. Make sure y'all check that out.
I would definitely get a copy.
All right, salute.
Yeah.
So you said something that really perked my interest. A lot of people don't really have a defined outline for what success is for them. They say, "Oh, I want to do all the best movies. I want to, have a lot of money and that kind of stuff." And that's not really putting an outline of what success is. But I find it interesting. You know what success is to you. How did you come up with that, and what is success to you?
It's crazy. It's crazy you said that because I did I'm working on my documentary right now. So I've been filming it since 2013. So I've been getting this footage. So it is called Failure as a Means to Success. So
Mm.
even with that, I always try to tell people this like anybody has failed in life, like Michael Jordan, Mike Lee's, Tyler Perry's, nobody just started off and was highly successful, and then what success is to you is what it is to you personally. So like right now, I feel like I'm very successful. I feel like I can do what I want. I'm getting paid to live in my dream. I'm not rich or anything, but I get paid to write. I'm a journalist for the St. Louis Argus and Narrative Matters. I became cool with celebrities. I just interviewed Victor Newman from the Young and the Restless. Like I'm living. I'm doing what I love to do, and I always tell people that don't look at success as just being a millionaire and just all this type of stuff. It's whatever you deem success is. Like me, I feel if I don't do nothing else today, I feel I've been successful. Like last year, I got nominated for the Hollywood Music Award. So I got to walk the red carpet. I got to see my name on the jumbotron, mentioned with like John Legend and all this type of stuff. So I'm like, I'm on an actual red carpet, a real red carpet being mentioned with greats, what I'm saying? So anything you do in life, it's what you define your success is. So that's why I just tell people, whatever. Don't let nobody tell you what's successful. It could be you. You can be like, hey, I just want to not live in a house and live on the streets and just go where I want to go. If that's your meaning of success, then that's you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always try to tell people, like, then what your success is. Don't let nobody else tell you what's successful. And that's how I live my life. I live my life in total peace every day. I'm doing what I love to do, and I thank God for it. So I feel I'm very successful.
Yeah, I can say amen to that.
Mm,
Don't let others define your success.
facts.
Right, right. So, what else we got? We covered the book, your music, your film schools.
Hmm.
What are your primary goals from here? What's the next big thing you want to do?
Well, right now I want to. So I'm working on the stage play. Also, I'm doing a lot of type stuff. So I'm working on this stage play. I've been writing it. I'm finna go ahead and really focus. I be doing so many different things. I just got to tackle down. So my stage play is called "Once a Cheetah, Always a Cheetah." I think it's gonna be very powerful. It's gonna have a lot of nuggets in there for men and women. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of conversation, a lot of things that's gonna create dialogue. Anybody will tell you about me when I write something. They be like, "How do you do that?" I always write from both perspectives. I take myself out so it's not biased. You know what I'm saying? So I think people are really gonna love this stage play. It'll be very powerful. So that's one of the main things I'm working on. Told you I'm working on a theater person documentary.
Right.
Um, what Theta Wilson I think it is now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Theta Wilson. So I'm working on her.
Her married name
Doc,
is Person now, I believe.
yeah, so I'm working on a documentary about Christian Ferguson. So I'm in. So my main goal, I would guess, like I said, is to create opportunities for others and just get my stuff out there. And I tell people this too. Let me drop some juice. Y'all see, I'm dropping knowledge on her today. So one thing about me, I always tell people, do not do stuff for money. God is gonna open the doors to get money. Do it because you're passionate about it. So I do this work and I put it in the universe without no expectations. I don't be like, okay, this gonna make me a lot of money. All right, this gonna do this. I just put it in the universe, and then God opened the doors for me. He let things happen. So I tell
Right.
everybody that do whatever you do because you love it and because you are passionate about it. Don't do it with expectation like, oh, this gonna blow up or nothing. So that's one of my main things. So my main goal is just to complete the work that I'm trying to do, put it in the universe, and let God do with what He do with
All right. All right.
So you mentioned and you talked about, you know, having to fail before you actually succeed.
it. Hmm.
In your business, failure and rejection are a standard
Hmm.
part of
Hmm.
becoming your own identity in your craft. You know, what are some of the lessons that you learned about how to deal with rejection and how to handle failure?
So one thing I always learn in the industry, you're gonna get a million no's before and get a couple yeses. So also I tell people this: when you fail, it is not the end of the world. It's a lesson. You learn from it and grow. Like my stepfather told me this, and I still use this to this day. I always tell people this also. I was in high school and I made it to state. I was on a wrestling team, and I made it to state. And I was super nervous, scared about failing, about losing. And he told me, he said, if you allow fear and doubt to creep into your mind, then failure is absolute. So never go into anything thinking you're gonna fail. Even if you do fail, like I said, you learn from it. When I did my, let me see, I did my first theater. When I sold out my first theater show, I brought out 300 people. The second one, I failed at, like, a lot of stuff didn't go right. Like I think me and my partner at the time, we was trying to edit these movies at the last minute, before the night of, and all this type of stuff. So that was a lesson for me. Like, never do anything until your stuff is complete. You know what I'm saying? Then book the theater, all this type of stuff. But one thing, even when I failed in that moment, because it was very disastrous, I felt pain, defeated, hurt, and one thing I could say, it of course, it was a lot of people. Hey, we want our money back. But I didn't tell you about black people, but it was also a lot of people who like, hey, I see you brothers trying to do something, and it happens. You know what I'm saying? So, what we did was an investment in y'all. So, me learning from that, just learn that you're gonna fail in life, but you learn from it, and it mentally builds you to grow. So, like I said, I failed in a couple things, and it just makes me continue to grow. It's life lessons, and just stick at it, and you will be successful. I promise you, it is a guarantee. God will pull you through anything you go through. If He doing it not, because if he did, you wouldn't be here right now. So it is okay to fail. Don't be afraid to fail, but don't go into anything thinking you're gonna fail. You know what I'm saying? Have that faith and belief that, hey, I'm finna accomplish this, and I promise you, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be all right.
So I know that there are a lot of people that you'd probably like to work with, a lot of projects that you probably could put together, and some of the other people talent you could look forward to having in your work. Um, from a creative standpoint, is there any particular talent that you have a story in your mind that you think that they could tell the best?
Yes, so definitely. What up, Denzel Washington for this man. This hell, I need you. I need you, Denzel. Nah. But yeah, Denzel Washington, I feel him and Leonardo DiCaprio, I feel they're like two of the greatest actors. I would love to work with both of them. And I'm going to work with both of them one day. Manifest it.
All
You
right.
manifest it, it will happen.
Speak it into
And
existence.
that's right. And on the music side, only one person I want to work with, I feel this rapper is the only one who stands between me and total supremacy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that
Okay.
is Eminem. Eminem, you know
Oh,
what
is
I'm
that
saying? He's the
right?
greatest, the
Damn.
greatest rapper in the universe besides me.
Slim
So he the
Shady.
only rapper that stands between me and total supremacy. So we got to work together. But
So
yeah,
what is
so
it?
them
What
the
is it you
only
like about his style?
man. He just everything. I've learned everything in rapping about him. The way he's a lyricist, the way he plays with words, bend words, sound rhyming, riding the beat, creative storytelling, just everything. Like he really takes time in his raps. Like it's like he focuses on every word. He makes words rhyme that don't supposed to rhyme. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned everything I know about rhyming from him. People always tell me that, like, oh man, you. Anytime I get on the track, they were like, man, bro, you great, man, you one of them. So I learned everything from him. You know what I'm saying? He's the teacher of it.
Okay.
Yes,
Eminem.
yes, they were the greatest.
So now, are you working with young talent? Giving back that knowledge, or are you still at this point working to perfect your craft, and then at some point maybe you'll go back and share what you've learned with others?
Yeah, look, I tell everybody this: don't ever think you know everything. You always, even if you're in your 80s, you're always working and learning something new. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, but I definitely always give back. Anybody who knows me will tell you, I always give advice. If they call me for advice, I'm there. I don't never act like people. A lot of people come to me, they're like, "Man, you big doing things, and you over here giving little old me advice." I be like, "Hey, look, man, there is no little old you. We all have the same 24 hours. What you choose to do with yours is what you choose to do with yours." So I'm always giving advice. I always try to get back to the community. If people need me to do something for them, if I can't do it, and they'll tell you to, if I feel I can't commit to something, I'm not gonna commit to it. Because if I commit to something, then I go full force. I'm gonna give you my all. Whether that's I'm being in your stage play, or if I'm helping you write, or anything. So yeah, so my main thing is to get back. Like I said, when God gave me all this knowledge or stuff I learned in life, ain't no point in keeping it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Give it to the world. We all can eat. So I just love helping people, love giving advice. So that's it. All of us can eat.
So um, I know that your business is a competitive one.
Hmm.
How do you manage your competitiveness so as not to I don't know, step on toes, but elbow your way into positions where you're doing what you want to do. Does that make
That's
sense? Is
because
that a good question? Huh?
I that's because I am the best film writer and director in St. Louis. Facts. Nah, nah, but for real, nah. But I say that, but I do believe that. So I
Right.
think one thing about me, people will tell you is I know I'm great at what I do. I'm very damn great. I would say this, but I'm also humble with it. You know what I'm saying? People will tell you anybody who meet me, they like Lacey is humble. You know, like I know I do great work, but I think what separates me, even in the competitive world, is I just do me. I stay in, you know, I'm not trying to be like the next person. I'm not trying to make the films the next person makes. I'm all about, I think, my storytelling, and it shows through my films. So when I say, like, I got in a debate with my boy Keyline from the St. Louis Ticks, and he was like, "You should say you the best." He was like, "You know, that might rub people the wrong way," and I was like, "I feel I'm the best." You know what I'm saying? I was like, when you hire somebody, would you say, "Hey, I want to hire the best," or "I want to hire somebody who just do this"? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "You take over." I was like, I'm not saying I'm better than the next person. I'm not saying I'm calling this person out. I'm just believing in myself. You know what I'm saying? I manifested that in the universe. I am the best film writer and director in St. Louis, you know. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So, and I guess that's how I stay in a competitive, I guess, I use my competitive spirit by not showing like arrogance or, you know, like, yes, I do this. Like, I just be humble, and I feel what's for you will be for you. Like it's been plenty of film festivals that I've been in where even my people or anybody they were like, "Hey man," they know that I should have won this award for this film, or and didn't. You know, like I have won award, but it's something that I myself even I know, but I don't take it personal. I'll be like, "What's for me is for me," and God didn't want me to have this. So my point is, the main ingredient of my film was to get my message out. You know, and I just feel great about that. You know, especially being in the industry like this where we as black people are not, you know, meant to succeed anyway. We're not even meant. A lot of people look at us and say we're not meant to even be up here and have these type of films and film festivals. So I love just showing people, especially coming from where I came from the West Side. You know what I'm saying? I look just like these kids I heard who they call hoods and heathens and all this type of stuff. That y'all can do the same thing I did. You can do anything that you put your mind to. So that's one of my how I feel for real.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
I've just got a couple of questions more, and so one, uh, I know you talked about having St. Louis be a center for
Mm-hmm.
movies and theater. What do you think St. Louis lacks at this time? What would make St. Louis better? You know, what would make us great or reach that where you think we can be?
The same thing we were preaching with even from years back with the music unity. You know, we have to support each other. Like a lot of us do not support each other. I'm fortunate enough that I was able to build me a big following, a big fan base, but we have to start supporting each. Like Atlanta, I used to look at them back in the day. They hopping on each other's songs. They all in each other projects. Here we have that crab in the barrel mentality, which is sad. And it seems like a lot of people don't support you here until you do leave and make it big somewhere else, and then they support you. So we really have to start supporting each other. And I think once we do that, I think we'll be great. Like me, when I'm, you know, I work a lot, but even when I'm not working, if somebody I know, like I have a homie, his name is Smuggy, he's a comedian. He just had a stand up show. I was free, bought the tickets, went and supported him. You know what I'm saying? So I think just supporting each other. Whenever I'm free and whenever I feel I can support somebody, I go out and do it. So I think that's the main thing. If we do that here, I think we can be big in St. Louis.
Yeah,
So,
that is critical. Yeah. I think Ryan Marquez was making a point of that when he named that album Saint Unity. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if you know him. Have you heard of him?
No.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's people are starting to address that whole idea that we need to support each other.
Mm-hmm.
We got a long
definitely.
way to go though.
Yep, definitely.
So,
Right. All it takes is one though.
Yeah.
Get everybody in the right direction.
Yeah, you might want to look him up, Ryan Marquez.
I definitely will.
one of the things that you talked about was all we were just talking about is everybody working together. Um, but I know that you are conscious of, socially conscious of the lack of representation for minorities in music and film. How do you incorporate your concerns in your projects?
Great question. So that is writing films that address that. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of those topics, creating a film about uh like I was thinking about that the other day, trying to write a film about showing how like the award shows really don't, represent the black people enough, you know what I'm saying? So I always be trying to come up with different ways to show that, because we need to hold up these films, the music and everything, and let the people see, just like they did with the civil rights movement. We got to see, they got to show them, like, look, this is a reflection of this. This is what y'all doing. So I think we need to do that with our art as well. If everybody comes together and do it with our art, I think we can make a change. So I think everybody needs to do that.
Okay. So, when you hit on award shows, you hit one of my Achilles heels. Um, how do you feel about award shows? My feeling about award shows is it's a popularity contest, and it's not. It,
Definitely.
yeah, it doesn't really reflect all of the artists and stuff, and the things that they do, all of the blood, sweat, and tears. I mean, they you always hear about they overlook this little film and they overlook that film, and and how do you pick this as the best film of the year when you've got so many different tastes?
Facts, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I feel you on that. I feel the same way. I'm telling you, when I did my horror film, Flock, it was in a film festival. And even though I love my work, I am a realist. I am an honest person. The person will tell you. I done watched all the other horror films. There was not one film in the film festival better than this film. So even they had a award ceremony after that, and one of the judges came up to me at the award. He's like, "Oh man, your film it was, it was great. It gave me that old film. You had the creative backstories of the characters, and it gave me that old film look. But yeah, it was a hard decision between this and this other film that was horrible." I'm sitting there like, what? So I just realized I don't get mad about it, like I said. I just realized, like you said, it's a popularity contest.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, and I don't do it for the awards. Like I said, I have won awards though, but like I said, I do my films for the people to get it out there. So if it is meant for us to be, if meant for me to win them, it is. But like you said, I strongly believe it's unfair. So can't take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I know you don't. It's hard to be in an industry, and then they have awards shows or they have awards that they give out, and then you don't feel that it was fairly administered. It you
That's
don't
why a
do
lot of
things
people
just for
boycott it.
awards. I'm sorry.
I said that's why a lot of people boycott the awards too.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't do
Yeah.
things just for awards, but it's the recognition. You'd like to get the recognition, and you hate the idea that somebody got recognition for something, and they may have
Yeah.
half-assed done it, or they bought extra popcorn at the theater or whatever the case may be. Uh,
Hmm.
you know, they lobbied for their movie to be number one rather than putting it out there and letting the best movie win or song or whatever the case may be.
That's why we need to take it in our own hands and create our own awards. And listen, I'm telling you, that's what I started doing with my film before. Now we having a lot of my films at film festival. But before people would even pick up the film, I'm like, that's okay. I'm gonna go sell out my own theaters. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stop me. You gotta have that go get an attitude. and don't let anyone stop you. But yeah, we need to come up. Like, who says that these people are the hands down? These are the people who get to judge who has the best film in the world. Get out and do
How
your
many
own stuff.
years ago was it when what's his name? I can't even recall his name. Tried to create the Black Oscars award.
Yeah.
What
Who
what,
is it?
what was his name?
I forgot. I
You
know who you
remember?
talking about too. Dang, I can't think. I know what you talking about. No.
I mean, they were just so fed up. They said, "F it, we gonna do our own thing, And I wish it had kept up, but it didn't work. But I feel you. That's kind of what people were feeling.
Yeah, my only concern is that awards shows about creative projects is always going to be, or mostly going to be subjective. I do
Right.
believe that there are technical things like if I'm looking at a movie and the framing is bad, it negatively impacts my impression of the movie. If
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
right,
Oh yeah.
there are certain technical aspects of it that are necessary to enjoy, but sometimes you want the camera off center, you want the action off center because it's a part of telling the story. And
Right.
so,
Yes.
yeah, so it's
Look, I tell my people too. Some people I know who make films and they just be doing. I tell people, I'm like, if you gonna do film, do it right. Don't say this is a club and you can tell you at a house and you try to create a club like you always want your audience member to feel that this is real, this is happening, this is what's going through. You don't want it to be thrown out. So I always tell people that.
right, right. All righty, I could continue to talk forever. I love, but I'm gonna give the last word to you and to Warren.
You said to me?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. Listen, yeah, y'all already know. Look, do everything that you put your mind to. Don't let nobody tell you that you cannot do anything. Love, like I tell people, love yourself. Don't let nobody stress your brain. Be in peace. If you are in peace, you can get a lot of things accomplished. Wake up every day and listen to a motivational speech. Whatever you put in your mind the first 15 minutes of the day is very important. It's like exercising. So I listen to motivational speeches all the time. If you want to know why I'm always smiling, laughing, it's because I'm in a happy mood every day. I don't act like I'm in a happy mood. I am in a happy mood every single day. Very peaceful. You can find me on all of your social media platforms. It's G Soldier. It got a U in it, like your soul. So it's GSOULDIER. Lacey G Soldier. Turn on Facebook. And I just stay tuned, stay tapped in with me. I always got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff. Shout out to everybody, my girl, my family, my friends, my podcast. I do a podcast every Monday night. It's called Uncensored Conversation, 7 p.m. Central Time. So make sure y'all tap into that. We talk about everything, relationship topics. We have heavy debates. It's all personalities. We get in a lot of arguments, but we love each other. You know what I'm saying?
I did
uh,
hop on one a while back, and I was
let's
like,
see.
man, this is kind of wild.
Yeah, no, man, we get wild. It's all different
It was coming out
personalities.
everywhere.
So I got two singles dropping. One of them is called Broken Record. One of them is called Beautiful Day. Both of them are powerful records, so stay tuned to that. And man, I just love God. I want to say more than anything, put God in everything you do, and He will always help you out. You know what I'm saying? So thanks to everybody who support me. I love you all. Thank you, Warren. And that's
Yeah.
all I got to say.
Hey, man,
Hey,
I
just
really
want to say
appreciate you coming on.
appreciate you coming out, spending an hour with us,
I
man,
thank
and
both of y'all. Thank y'all.
come back in the future.
Definitely.
All right, keep in touch.
All right, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.
City Jazz Sessions is brought to you by St. Louis City Jazz, a 501c3 company dedicated to music education and appreciation. The CEO is Magic Man 50, and for more ways to connect with City Jazz Sessions, visit cityjazzsessions.wixsite.com/St. Louis. The City Jazz Sessions team includes host, content director, and guest coordinator, jazz great Ronnie Barrage. Follow Ronnie at ronniebarrage.biz. Host, website designer, graphic artist, content director, and guest coordinator, singing sensation Leica. Discover more about Leica at leicamusic.com. Additional production services are provided by Lions Den Productions. Go to thelionsdenstl.wixsite.com/home. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe for more great content.